Sit in any coffee shop for 5 minutes and you will see dozens of people connecting their phones and laptops to the public Wi-Fi. But sitting right next to them might be an attacker, silently deploying an invisible danger that compromises those devices before a single web page loads. The vulnerability of Wi-Fi comes down to physics. Devices communicate by broadcasting omnidirectional radio waves into the open air. Anyone within a few hundred feet with the right antenna can pull those signals out of the sky. To intercept that data, a hacker creates an evil twin. An evil twin is a rogue Wi-Fi access point configured to look identical to a legitimate network offered on the premises. By powering up a small portable router hidden in a backpack, the attacker clones the exact name of the cafe's network and waits. Most phones and laptops are programmed with an auto-connect feature designed to aggressively seek out familiar network names to save you the hassle of logging in. If the attacker's portable router emits a stronger radio signal than the cafe's router bolted to the ceiling, your device will silently perform a digital handshake with the malicious network. You haven't clicked a suspicious link. You haven't downloaded a shady attachment. Simply by sitting down in a public space with your Wi-Fi turned on, your own hardware has been weaponized against you. The traditional idea of a safe perimeter is an illusion. Once your device connects to the evil twin, the attacker effectively becomes the literal gateway to the internet. This is known as a man-in-the-middle attack. A man-in-the-middle attack occurs when a threat actor secretly intercepts and relays the communication between two parties who believe they are speaking directly to each other. Every website request, every single email, and every typed password now flows directly through the hacker's machine. This access destroys the CIA Triad, a foundational model standing for confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Wi-Fi interception targets the first two. Confidentiality breaks when the attacker eavesdrops on plain text. Integrity falls because the attacker manipulates data in transit, downgrading secure web traffic. Because the attacker immediately forwards your traffic to the real internet after inspecting it, the website loads normally on your screen. You see exactly what you expect to see, making the theft entirely invisible. Capturing a single password from a casual coffee shop browsing session is rarely the attacker's final objective. It is usually the first link in a much longer chain. Once an attacker harvests your login, they immediately initiate credential stuffing. Credential stuffing is an automated cyber attack where stolen usernames and passwords are fed into botnets to rapidly attempt logins across hundreds of different banking, email, and social media sites. A botnet is a network of hijacked private computers controlled remotely by an attacker to execute tasks at massive scale. If the victim is a remote worker logging into a company portal, the attacker gains a highly valuable session token. A session token is a unique, temporary string of data that servers use to identify an authenticated user, so they don't have to repeatedly enter their password. By stealing this token, the attacker achieves lateral movement. Lateral movement refers to the lateral movement a threat actor uses to navigate through a network, escalating privileges and accessing deeper systems after an initial breach. Holding a valid token allows the attacker to slip right past multi-million-dollar corporate firewalls completely undetected. A few seconds of convenience on a public network escalates quickly. A single intercepted handshake can trigger a cascading breach that compromises personal identities and unravels entire enterprise infrastructures. The most immediate physical countermeasure to this threat is simple: disable Wi-Fi entirely. By switching to cellular data, your device bypasses the local, potentially compromised network and communicates directly with a secure cell tower. If you must use Wi-Fi, you protect your data by routing it through a VPN. A virtual private network is a service that creates a secure, encrypted connection over a public network to maintain the privacy of sensitive data. It does this by wrapping your outbound data in an AES encrypted tunnel. AES, or Advanced Encryption Standard, is a widely adopted cryptographic algorithm used by governments and security professionals to secure electronic information. When an attacker intercepts this tunneled traffic, the AES encryption does its job. The hacker captures the data packets, but without the decryption key, they are left holding a mathematically useless, scrambled mess of garbage. Deploying strong encryption neutralizes the local threat. The attacker's physical proximity and their control over the network hardware become irrelevant when the data itself is locked down. Tactical defenses like VPNs are necessary, but surviving in the modern digital landscape requires a broader conceptual shift. Security teams are abandoning the outdated castle and moat mentality. The castle and moat model is a legacy security approach that assumes no one outside the network perimeter is allowed in, but everyone already inside is inherently trusted. This diagram shows the architecture of the modern enterprise standard, Zero Trust. Zero Trust architecture is a cybersecurity model operating on the strict principle of never trust, always verify, eliminating the assumption that any user or device is inherently safe. Look at the distinct separation between the control plane at the top and the data plane below it. The policy engine dictates the rules. Under this architecture, the policy engine treats every single access request as if it originated from a hostile actor. Notice the pathway from the agent to the gateway. The subject is never granted direct, open access to the entire network. They only reach the specific resource enclave after continuous, rigorous authentication approved by the policy administrator. This enterprise-level paranoia must be applied personally. Whether you are logging in from an airport lounge, a corner cafe, or your own living room sofa, you must treat every network as if it is already actively compromised by an attacker. The perimeter is dead. Your safety no longer relies on geographic location or trusted network names. It relies entirely on relentless verification, universal encryption, and operating under the permanent assumption of breach.